Hi, everyone. This is Rockie Ventura here with intentionate.com. And we're here to do another video here for you today. Continuing on a master resiliency training here from the Army. If you go to my first video, I give a little bit of background of how I recently was certified to be a resiliency trainer through the Army, which is really awesome. It's a class I've been trying to get into for almost well over 8 years, I think, since they started the program in 2012, if I remember correctly. So I'm just so excited to have gotten certified. And now these videos are my way of getting some practice in so that I can do it in real life to my soldiers and to my local community. So when you see these videos, these are not the polished, finished version. This is me being vulnerable here with you and practicing, okay? This is nothing it's not, I don't get paid for this or anything like that. This is just me practicing. I'm uploading this, and I welcome you to provide any comments that you may have on my videos. Hopefully they're helpful for you. And if you are an MRT learning these skills and you are trying to get the courage to go out there and do these things, go out there. People need to hear this stuff, okay? And you got selected to do the training. You're the right person to do this. So I hope that you'll take it seriously. People really need to really learn these skills, because being resilient is a skills are filled with skills that you can develop to become more resilient. And you're going to see a lot of flaws in my video, and I'm okay with that. And I'm very resilient with that. These skills have helped me to do that, okay? So I hope that you get the courage to go out there and don't worry about how you look like. Just worry about delivering the material and let it land where it lands. And some people, it's going to land on their hearts and their mind, and others just brush it off, and that's okay. You just keep getting better, you keep getting better, and keep delivering the material. Well, hey, we're going to continue on with our series here, and we're going to move to our next skill set now. And our skill set that we're going to learn, we learned goal setting last. So now the skill set that we're moving into, we call this hunt the good stuff. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen here so we can get straight to the training. This is supposed to be a 30-minute training. I always get a little nervous when I say the time of how long this video is going to be. I think if you look at my past videos, I've not done very well at sticking to that. So hey, in full transparency, I got to get better, and I will get better. But that's why I make these videos, right? So I can practice, so that when it's time to execute in real life, when execution time comes, go time comes, I can do it and say 30 minutes is 30 minutes, right? Or 60 minutes. So the goal is 30 minutes. I have, well, for me here in Korea, it is 17:20, which is 5:20 p.m. For my civilians out there, or non-military time takers. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is called Hunt the Good Stuff. And this lesson is what it sounds like, okay? Hunt the good stuff. When you think of hunt, you think of a person going with tools, the equipment they need to go find something. In this case, that hunter is finding the good stuff, right? They're being proactive. They're trying to get out there and do stuff. And so as you learn things from here, and we're going to teach you how to hunt the good stuff, when you find your good stuff, I'd like for you to share on social media by ending it, putting the comment like, hey, today, my children said they loved me, or I spent the day with my spouse, or something, whatever your good thing is. I want you to put that on social media, put pound HTGS, hunt the good stuff. But this is the actual official logo we use for this skill set here. Now you can see, just a reminder about all the skill sets. We recently did goal setting, right? And then now we're doing hunt the good stuff. My favorite one here coming up here next. I'm so excited to teach you this because it's actually one of the foundations for all the others. But okay, but hunt the good stuff. I'm excited about this one as well, and let's get started. So hunt the good stuff helps us to build optimism. And so you remember, going back to our MRT competencies, we have a total of 6 competencies. And so in those 6 competencies lies optimism. And we say the more you develop those competencies, all of those 6 competencies lead towards resilience, and you can become a resilient person. And the way you develop those competencies is by utilizing skills. And that's the whole point of resiliency training. We're teaching you how to use skills, right? A skill is something you can learn. We're teaching you how to use a skill so that you can develop a competency, so that competency can lead to the bigger picture which is to be more resilient. Okay, video 1 really talks about why you want to be resilient and how resiliency can help you. Dr. Seligman, he was the one who founded this training here in the positive psychology. And so he and colleagues developed an activity to help people notice positive experience and enhance their gratitude and positivity. Now, specifically, what we're going to be doing here are 3 things. We're going to be thinking about why positive events go well in our life. Why do they happen? When something good happens, why does it happen? What does that mean to you? What does the positive event mean to you? So that's the second thing we're going to try to really be focusing on, be conscious about. Why did it happen? And what does it mean to me? Okay. And then what can we do to recreate those experiences so that we get a little bit more of it, right? And so this is really going back to ancient wisdom of you remember, well, I would say ancient wisdom, but let's even bring a little closer. Grandma, right? Maybe your grandparents used to say, hey, be positive, focus on the good things. You get more bees with honey, right? You've ever heard these sayings before? Well, this is what we're talking about. We're going back to kind of granny's wisdom, or in Spanish, mi abuelita, right? And we're just learning how to do that, how to get more bees with honey, how to focus on the good stuff, how to be positive, how to make things work out for us, focusing on really good stuff than the bad things. The bad things are always going to be there, right? The good things are there too. And we have a decision on which side we're going to go with, the good or the bad. And that's what this training is about. It's about utilizing, being conscious about finding stuff. So hunt the good stuff builds positive emotion such as gratitude. All right. And if I had an audience here, I would ask you, why would that be important? Why would it be important to build the positive emotion of gratitude in our life? Typically, responses that I get is when you're thankful, it's hard to be unthankful, right? And when you're unthankful, you just become negative and stuff. But when you become a thankful mode, you're just very appreciative, and something inside just makes you happy, doesn't it? And I want you to try this. This is the skill. Think about something that you're thankful for. Maybe you're thankful for your body, right? It just breathes. It pumps blood every single day. You don't have to do nothing. It just keeps pumping blood for you so you can live, so you can breathe. Your lungs are doing what they're supposed to do. Your mind is allowing you to think, right? Like these are so, when you just focus on that and you're grateful, all of a sudden your bills and all this stuff just kind of, I'm not saying it disappears or anything, right? But you just start reframing the way you think. And that's what this skill is about. Getting you to reframe the way you think so that you can enjoy life, even in the midst of all that other stuff, the bills, someone got sick, the car accidents, all those things are going to still happen. But how do you get to enjoy your 80, on average, years of life while those things are happening? And that's what we're talking about today. And this is what science shows makes up a resilient person. They have the ability to focus on the good stuff. Well, not just focus on it, they're actually hunting for it, okay? And so that's what this is about today. Well, let's talk about a little bit of Martin Seligman's work and his colleagues, okay? So what they found was that it builds positive emotion, it builds optimism and gratitude, okay? So I want you to go ahead and underline positive emotion, optimism, and gratitude. Now, when you think of positive emotion, what comes into your head? You probably think of a chipper person like, yeah, right? It could be that, right? It could be that. Maybe it's just when you go outside, man, you just feel good. Right now we're in winter time frame. The breeze is, we're in that transition where the heat went away and now it's just starting to cool down. And you get that first fall breeze and you just see the trees, the leaves are falling, the colors are changing, and everything just looks so beautiful. And just instinctively, I feel positive. I feel good. And I'm like, I just take it in. I soak it in. It feels good. That's a positive emotion. When my wife says she loves me, it's a positive emotion. When my daughter hugs me, it's a positive emotion. What about optimism? Do you remember what optimism is? The ability to look forward in a positive direction. You're optimistic. The opposite of that is pessimistic, right? What people like to say, an optimist sees the glass half full, a pessimist sees it half empty. It's the same glass, right? It's just, how do you see it? One person will look at a window and focus on the specks on the window, while another person, maybe even in jail from prison cell, can look at a window and they don't focus on the specks. They focus on the beauty, despite their circumstance, despite their situation. You know, we hear these stories of people who go through these horrendous situations. I mean, they may have cancer, they may be going through a lot, but yet you can draw this optimism out of their life, and it's like, wow, there's just something about them that it just draws you to them, right? Now, some people get deterred. They don't like that stuff, and I get it. But I want you to see, if that is you, I want you to see what the value is of having positive emotion and optimism. And then, of course, I just talked about gratitude. We talked about gratitude right now, how being grateful for things, so we're going to talk about how do you build those things, but we're also going to talk about how do you counteract the negative biases in your life. All right. Now, what is a negative bias? A negative bias is something that we have already inside of us, right? When we're negative about something. Well, let me just read it from my notes here. Remind participants that, sorry. If you're an MRT trainer, that's not how you do that part. The negative bias is the tendency to pay more attention to the bad things than the good. All right. Ever done that? The tendency. Yeah, I did this the other day. My kids came home from school. One of them specifically came home. Dad, I got to talk to you. Ooh, have you ever had that kind of a conversation? Or maybe you did that when you were a kid to your parents. It's like, and you already, like, all these things are flooding your mind, right? Like, are they good thoughts? Are they positive emotion thoughts? No, right? It's like just the way the tone was, the way the slowness of the way they said it. Dad, I need to talk to you. So my negative bias automatically came in, and I'm thinking like the worst stuff, right? Ends up being they just wanted to ask me if they could go somewhere. Really? Like, I got all worked up inside thinking I'm going to get all this but that what made me realize, especially about this lesson, how a negative bias is just exist in my life. Like, why? It's just there, it's just like my go-to. So hunting the good stuff helps you to counteract that. When you're always negative, if I'm using the hunt the good stuff skill in that situation, my daughter would have come to me, Dad, I need to talk to you. And I'd be like, oh, she wants to talk to me, right? Like, let's see what she's going to say. I'm just glad that we're in a situation. So even regardless, what if it was bad news? Okay, so what? The fact is, if I'm hunting the good stuff, right? I could say something like, I'm just thankful that she wants to talk to me. How many parents do you know that their kids don't even give them that to talk, right? They don't even have that. So I'm very thankful that my kids have the courage and the vulnerability to talk to me, even if it's good or it's bad, right? So again, hunting the good stuff counteracts the negative biases. We already said it builds positive emotion, optimism, and gratitude. But here's what the science shows us now. Now, remember, we're big on science. This program is all a science-based program. And here's what the science says. According to a study by Robert Emmons and colleagues, they found that compared to the individuals who reported hassles of life and events, individuals who reported 5 things they were grateful for felt better about their lives. Now get this, they experienced increased positive effect, were more optimistic about their expectations for the week, and experienced improved amounts of quality of sleep. Your sleep is going to improve because you're thinking positive things. They reported increased time spent in exercising and reported fewer physical complaints. Wow, look at all that stuff that is occurring just because they changed their mindset on how they think about life. Now, are you hunting the good stuff or are you hunting the bad stuff, right? We already said we naturally lean towards the negative bias. So if you want to hunt for the good stuff, you got to be proactive. Look at these other ones here. I'm not going to read the others, but at least the science part of it. But here are the bullets of it here. They lower depression, greater life satisfaction. Your performance starts increasing more when you're more positive and optimistic, and you start having better relationships. Now, why would that happen, right? Heaven forbid you start having good relationships because you're feeling better, right? It feels good to be around other people who feel good, right? Don't you want to be around someone? When you see that person that comes into work and you already know, oh, they're going to have a bad day. What's your natural tendency? You stay away from them, right? But when you're positive, people want to be around you. You want to be around them. Maybe you're the encourager and you're going to hunt the good stuff in their life as well. So look at all these benefits you're getting just from hunting the good stuff. So one of the ways that you go about hunting the good stuff, and this is what we teach here in the master or in the resiliency course, is we want to teach you how to hunt the good stuff by keeping an active journal. Okay. This is the skill, by the way. This is the skill. Now you can do it just by meditating throughout the day, like, oh, thank you. That was a good thing. That was a good thing. But if you let that thought go away and you didn't really reflect on how, who, what, where, how that happened, it's not going to target what we're trying to do for the sake of the skill. For the sake of the skill, we're trying to get you to realize why it's good. What is it that's good about it? And how do you do it again? Because if you can control recreating experiences in your life, now you have some power, right? And then in a negative circumstance, right, you can start saying, yeah, I get it. I just got hit. I got hit by a car. I'm going to be late for work. I know my boss probably going to get mad at me, but you know what? I'm still alive. I still have my job. This is something good stuff, by the way. The other person's still alive. I got insurance, whatever you can do to keep hunting. This is what we're trying to do. Okay. And so, here's the skill here. What I want you to do, what this course is asking you to do is every day, each day, record 3 things in your life. Record 3 events in your life each day that you can say that you're hunting the good stuff. Next to each positive event, so the good thing, we'll call it a positive event. I want you to write a reflection statement about it. It's just got to be like one statement, okay? About one or more of the following topics. Now, I wanted to read you one of mine here. Okay, here's one of mine. Excuse me, I'm going to turn my head while I read it. But this was my first day I started the MRT course. All right, I dated it there. And then it says, good thing number 1. And I wrote that on my journal. And so here's my reflection. Today I started my MRT course. I've always wanted to do this course. I'm super excited about this. I worked really hard to get here. I talked to my boss and saw an opportunity for me to take the course, so I decided to do it. We're going to be talking about goal setting today, and goal setting will help me to overcome complex goals. Sorry, my writing is horrible. So I took this was one of my first journals, so this one was longer. Throughout the course, they got a little smaller because I was rushing, but I still kept doing it, okay? What I'm saying is, what we are asking you to do is just reflect on one good thing about that. So write down your good thing and then reflect on it. Why did it, and when you're reflecting, here are some questions to put in the back of your mind. Why this good thing happen? Why did it happen? So today my wife said she loved me, right? Why did this good thing happen? Well, it's because she loves you, and that's going to make you happy, right? Or, why did this good thing happen? Well, because maybe she feels that she's loved and she wants to express it back. I'm reflecting and I'm just like kind of drowning myself in those thoughts, right? What does the good thing mean to you? Maybe you write that kind of a sentence, right? You can say why it happened, or you can say, what does it mean to you? All right, well, it means a lot. I had a long week this week, and to hear my wife say she loved me, it really made me happy, because at work, I was starting to feel like I wasn't loved, I don't know, whatever your journal is going to say, whatever you want. What about here? What about this reflection question? what you can do tomorrow to enable more of this good thing. If I like the way it felt, well, what can I do tomorrow to enable that? I think from now on, I'm gonna start telling my wife that I like hearing that, and I want her to tell me a little bit more. And while I'm asking for that request, I'm also gonna ask that that I'm also going to tell her I love her, because I know if I like it, she's gonna like it. And then what ways you or others contribute to this good thing. All right, so those are some other things that you can focus on. So that's what we're asking you to do. It's a pretty simple skill to develop. Just get in the habit every single day of journaling these ideas. Okay, let's see what we got here. So here are some of the key principles that we talked about. Again, hunt the good stuff enables you to counteract the negativity bias. All right. You can counteract that bias, pay more attention to the bad events than the positive events. All right. We already talked about why it's important to counteract the negativity bias, right? Negativity is always something that we default to. It's like always going to be there. And that excuse me, I got the hiccups. That negativity is what's drowning you. What's keeping you focusing on stuff that doesn't benefit you. I mean, go on and focus on those things. Focus on all the bad things going on, but what's it going to do for you, right? It's not going to do anything for you. You have a choice now to focus on the other side, right? The glass half full. And what will that do for you, right? It's not gonna get your problems away, but what it's gonna do is just help you get through them in a way that's more proactive, because a negative bias tends to get us all pouty and we feel hopeless, like life is happening to us, rather than us doing something about whatever is happening to us. And then it builds optimism, right? It builds optimism, and we discussed that optimism is a necessary ingredient towards becoming more resilient in life. You'll find this hunt the good stuff. I don't know if it's in your specific guide. According to this, I don't think my guide that I gave you when you downloaded this has the journal part, but don't overthink this. This is just you getting a sheet of paper or a notebook and say, today's date, and then put 1, 2, and 3. Good thing number 1, my wife said she loved me. And then reflect on those 4 questions that's on the previous slide, this one here. All right, reflect on those 4 questions. Why is this a good thing? What does it mean to you? What can you do tomorrow to enable it? And what are ways that you can contribute to this good thing that others can contribute? Okay. And so good thing 1, good thing 2, good thing 3, and that's it. We're asking you to do this every day at the end of the day. Okay, at the end of the day, reflect on that, because you'll go to sleep having thought good things. Right, if you do it right before you go to sleep, it will help you get in the mood of relaxation. It's going to clear out any bad things that you have already going on, and it's going to help you relax. And so a better sleep now will help you get energized to wake up a little better the next day, right? And so how can you use hunt the good stuff to enhance your performance? Hey, we just talked about it. It'll give you better sleep. It makes you more positive. How to keep tracking of positive events and experience affect how you interact with others. All right, well, now you can start focusing on those good things on other people. All right, so maybe you got people that you don't really get along with, but if you hunt the good stuff within them, you might be able to change that, right? Because you're focused on better things about that person. So check on learning. What is the skill that we learned on today? I told you it's a pretty short one. Wow, I think I'm actually keeping my goal here. Hunt the good stuff is used to notice positive experience, to enhance optimism, gratitude, and other positive emotions. Now, when do you use it? Hunt the good stuff on a regular basis in order to counteract the negativity bias. So you really use it every day. All right, hunt the good stuff every single day. And then you do the journaling part. But throughout the day, when you feel yourself being negative about something, a car hits you, something happens, at that exact moment, hunt the good stuff, hunt the good stuff. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I have insurance. This will be handled. I still got my job. The other person's still alive. All these things are some techniques of hunting the good stuff. So whenever a negative experience is about to happen in your life, I'm asking you to focus on this. And then how do you use it? Well, the real formal way to use it, other than just putting it in your mind, is to actually write it down, because this is the actual skill part, is the writing down. You can think good things all day, but science shows that when we write, like when our pen or pencil touches the paper, it allows us to really utilize our senses to focus on what we're doing. We're writing it, we're thinking it, we're putting some thought into it, and it allows us to know it a little bit more. That's why our teachers always had us write everything, right? Get out your notes and write this. So there you go. This is the skill. It's pretty easy skill to do. I encourage you to do it. You could even do this as a social media tactic for yourself. You know, Facebook asks, what does Facebook ask when you log on? What's on your mind? Let me just make sure that is still the case, because I don't want to get called out here. But yeah, here you go. What's on your mind? That's the question. What's on your mind? Okay. This is a perfect opportunity for you to go ahead and say, you know, good thing number one. And you don't have to put good thing number one, but you can just write out whatever your good thing number one is. You know, today, this happened to me. And you start reflecting on this stuff, and why did it happen? What does it mean to you? How do you make it happen again? How do you get others to help you make it happen again? Start reflecting on that. And then other people will contribute, and then it's going to send all these happy emotions to you, because you're like, wow, this was a good comment. So that's how you can leverage the power of social media. And oh, and by the way, don't forget to put the pound HTGS on there, right? But that's how you can leverage this skill set here. And again, just a reminder, this is part of optimism. So in our next lesson, we're going to move into my favorite, the foundation, the mother of all skills that we're going to be learning here today, and that's called ATC. I will tell you what ATC means in the next lesson. But I want to close really talking about some common questions that I get whenever we talk about the lesson I just told you. So why do we have to write the reflection part? You might be asking that. And the reflection part helps it to make it go deep and make it stick. All right. And so don't skip out on the reflection part. Don't just write the good thing. If you got to do something, then yeah, write the good thing. But the reflection part is really what's going to make it stick. So I'm encouraging you to get your journal and write the reflection part. We can just identify the good thing, but the reflection adds more value to the process. So I think you know that. Okay. How many times do I have to do it in order? Okay, yeah, that's a good question. How many times do I have to do this in order to get some benefit? So the study shows that if you do this a minimum of 3 times a week, while we're urging you to do it every day, if you can at least get in the practice of doing it 3 times a week, studies show that you're going to still be able to draw from those benefits. Okay, so we recommend a minimum of 3 to 4 times a week. What if you're having a really crappy day and don't have any good things to talk about? Hey, that's a good question. That's pretty realistic, right? This is this skill set that we're trying to teach you. I'm going to say, even in the crappy day, you can still see already, well, are you seeing the glass half full or half empty? Because even in these so-called half empty crappy days, is there still good things going on in your life? I mean, really, is there good things? Are you breathing? I hope you are, but there's still good things going on in your life. You're just choosing not to focus on them. And this is the point of the skill. So even in the face of this question, yeah, this is the reason why you want to use this skill, right? Because this is the time to say, there are good things happening, and gosh darn it, I'm going to hunt for it, right? You're a hunter, okay? For some, religious waking up, getting rid of, okay. No, I'm trying to read my notes here. Are you telling me that I should ignore, deny? Okay, yeah, good question. So should you ignore or deny the bad things that are going on and just live a happy, positive, yeah, everything's right? No, we're not saying that at all. We are not saying that ignore the bad things that are going on, right? We're just teaching you how to reframe them, your focus, reframe and shift your focus so that you're able to maximize your day. Think about this. And you notice in this lesson, I kept saying your problem isn't going to go away, but the way you approach the problem will give you a better opportunity of successfully, solving it, or, getting past that problem. But if you stay negative, it's like putting heavy weights on you, right? You can still move, but that negativity really bogs you down. So what we're saying is focus on the positive side, just enough to get you some steam going so that now you can readdress the problem with new light, new energy inside of you. So great question. That is a good question. Should you ignore the negative? No, we're not saying that. We're just saying reframe your thought process. Okay, those are the main questions I usually get. If you got any more questions, email them to me, rockieventura@gmail.com. Again, that's Rockie, Rockie Ventura, Ventura @gmail.com. But this includes concludes the lesson of Hunt the Good Stuff. I'm hunting the good stuff already for you. I'm excited that you're going to be applying this. This is a game changer right here. The skill of Hunt the Good Stuff. But now I'm super excited to teach the next lesson. It's my favorite. It's the most fundamental skill in the resiliency course, from which all the others are built upon. Okay, so super excited. Tune in on the next one. Remember, place intention on your life. You got to intention it, right? You got to place whatever it is you want to do, added some intention to it. Because when you live an intentional lifestyle, you really get to maximize on the potential of your day and your life. We only have about 80 years to live. And so if you start being intentional about your days, you'll start getting more out of it, right? And so that's what the whole intention stuff is about. So, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Let me stop sharing here. I wish you all the best and take care, okay? All right.